So today we are honored to have with us Becky Bywater with Central Florida Score. And Becky is going to tell you a lot about Central Florida Score and how many of you in your small business life and in your network of businesses that you interact with, how Score can be a very useful resource in this community for growing your business. So without further ado, I am going to hand it over to Becky. And Becky, you should be able to pop into screen share if you want to pop that up now.
Okay, I will do that. I'll say a few words first, and thank you everybody for joining today. Just a little bit about myself. I was ended up my professional career as an independent sales rep. I had 2 states and I was traveling way too much, so I retired early. My husband was already a Score mentor, and so he asked me to join and help, especially women. That was 15, almost 16 years ago, so I was a token woman at the time. But so that's how long I have been with Score. I've been past chair. I have been workshop events chair. Right now, for the last 6 years, I have been marketing chair. So I still mentor clients in addition to doing a lot of other backyard stuff for Score. I'm very passionate about it. I think we're a great opportunity to help our community. And so with that, I will go ahead and share my screen. And I'm glad to hear that this is being recorded and other people will have the opportunity to go in at another time and view it. Score. Score is a national organization, and I'll tell you about it as we go along, but our tagline is for the life of your business, because what we do is we help you start, we help you grow, and we can help you finish and sell. We're a non-profit. We resource partner of the United States Small Business Administration. We were founded in 1964. And as you know, I just explained, we help aspiring existing businesses succeed and thrive. Now, our Central Florida chapter was founded at the very same identical time. So we are well over 50 years old. There we go. A few facts about us. There are 300 chapters, 10,000 volunteer base. We've spent millions of hours of volunteers donated yearly. And the small business resources, I'm going to share that with you as we go along. And there they are. We offer mentoring. When COVID came along, it expanded our face-to-face and phone to video and email. That is at no cost. We do offer educational workshops for entrepreneurs ranging from business planning to marketing to finance. We do charge a small fee for that. Because what was happening is we would have so many people sign up and then they would not show up, and we had bought food and such. So we can also facilitate roundtables for your organization, and we offer online resources, huge opportunity. And again, I will go through all that in a little bit. But there are articles, templates, blogs, all kinds of tools to help any small business with anything that they would like. Now, please, I would encourage you all to just unmute at any time and ask me any questions. I love it when you do. And when we get to the growth part, because I do want to give you a few growth tips here, but I especially would like your input. On our centralflorida.score.org, you will find links to the library, which is where you will find your articles, assessments, outlines, templates of the resources, the live webinars. You will find online workshops. And when you go to centralflorida.score.org, on the very first page, you will find, you will find our workshops that are local. There are SCORE blogs. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. With business experts in our newsletter. And I would encourage you to sign up for our newsletter, because if you do, you will have automatically come into your mailbox all of the webinars that National is having. We do not do a lot of webinars here in Polk County, because we, especially now that COVID is opened up and we can do a lot more, we are going back to having active live workshops. Okay, how we can help you. When you sign up for a mentor, we have approximately probably 15 to 20 at any given time volunteers who have expertise in all different kinds of fields. There's accounting, business organization, structure, finance, manufacturing, sales, marketing, of course, startup, strategy planning. We help with business plans, technology, IT. So we have a wealth of, keep going the wrong way, of opportunities for our mentors to help you out there. Okay, now here's the fun part to me. What we concentrate here at Central Florida SCORE are in business clients. And that is because we, for many years, we had, our percentages were really geared to startups, like maybe 60-40. We've reversed that. We're more like at 60 in business clients and 40% startups. However, times are changing. I can tell you that what happened during COVID was when people were losing their jobs, they were making opportunities for themselves. And they were going out and starting small businesses, be it home businesses. And the other thing that has been extremely successful is the co-sharing workspaces, because they could do that and not have to do a brick and mortar or even an e-commerce, which websites at e-commerce are a lot more expensive to produce and to maintain. But and then the other thing is just, you know, service related. A lot of people I know have gone back to technical schools to become plumbers and such. So now that you know who and what SCORE can do, it's time for you to work on your business and not in your business. That's our motto, and it's time to grow. So I would like to know, as we go forward into this, what do you feel your best practice for growth is? There are 8 things to grow your business. An hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing. Don't remember who that came from, but I can't read the name, but I think it's very apropos. Goal setting and planning. Re-examine your business plan. And then we're going to go from there and talk about all of these other things here that in detail. I will tell you that in all of the workshops that we have had at the end, and I'd like your input as well, we have a little survey and we ask, what kind of workshops would you see? Well, you just cannot believe the number that we get that say marketing. Well, marketing is like a 50,000 feet window, and it can go down and down and down from there. So let's talk about the real back to the basic things that can help you grow your business today. Smart goal setting and planning. And there is a gentleman out there by the name of Steve Black. He is CEO and founder of Business Success Training. And his feeling is the number one thing you must master to grow your business is goal setting and planning. And when you're doing that, the things that you need to think about are to be specific. Are your goals attainable? Can you measure them? Are they relevant and timely? So give that some thought. And when was the last time you looked at your business plan? Anybody want to open up and share? No? Okay. We'll keep going. You really should look at your business plan at least once a year. I will tell you that. That is an absolute definite. So let's break it down some more. Social media. I tell all of my clients that there are 3 things, especially if they're starting up, that are going to help them grow their business. And that's social media, networking, and referrals. Those are 3 crucial things. And your website is one that is included in the social media. You need to look at it often, change it often. As I understand it, Google picks up changes in websites. So the other thing is your Facebook business page. Not everybody believes that they have to have one, but social media of some level is really important. There are ways that you can post on Instagram and it posts on Facebook at the same time. And then, are you listed in Google My Business? Does everybody know for sure that your business is listed? Anybody want to say? Okay. But besides Google My Business, you also need to make sure that you're listed on Bing and Yahoo. And that's so that when someone Googles your name, the name of your company, you will pop up. So LinkedIn, I didn't mention that here, but I think at this point we all know that Facebook can be lots of grandchildren, cats, dogs, marriages, whatever, but it's still a viable, Facebook is still, in my opinion, a viable tool. What I do for SCORE is we have someone that posts for us, and when they post on our SCORE mentor page, I go in and I share it with my personal page. So, that's why it's important that you build your personal page as well as your business page. And that's just how it works. Ask your friends to share it with their friends, and that's how you grow. The other key is that these social media sites are the ones that are going to drive customers to your website, because Facebook right there has, your website and all of your contact information. Okay, let's move on to networking. You need to learn the art of networking. It is so common. And it's not only common, but it's human nature that when you get in crowds with people to reconnect and gravitate to your friends. But you need to learn the art of networking, and you can Google that, and there's a lot of good sites out there to help you with that. But you should, with that, you should always have your 30-second commercial. When I know I have been to several chamber meets, and when they host new clients to come in, new members, they will ask them, what is your 30-second commercial? And you should always, always have several business cards with you. And when you receive a business card, treat it as a gift. What I try and do that helps me remember the person that's giving it to me, and it's hard. I'll never forget Tanny Tucker. Sometimes it's hard. Yeah, sometimes it's hard. But for example, the nail tech that does my dog's nails, 3 times I'm there and I can't remember her name. And so finally I said, I'm so sorry, I'm so bad with names. She said, it's Danny. I said, Danny boy, I won't forget it now. Danny boy. So, treat that business card as a gift. Return yours by calling them their name. That's also a technique that helps you remember someone's name. I have to tell you a quick story. When I did my training, because I started a small home-based business after I retired, and I was in it until 2008 when our first debacle hit, and I kept it for several years after that. But when I was in New York in a training class, the lady that was the trainer, she said when she would run Central Park, she would keep several inside of her sports bra. So it didn't matter that they were wet and soggy, she gave it out anyway. But that's just how important it is. And it amazes me sometimes that a person will come here to work in my home, and I'll say, do you have some business cards? I just used my last one, I ran out. Or let me go back to my truck and get it. Does anybody want to talk about your networking experiences? Or you can even host events. See, I forgot, I wrote that there. Host an event at your business. Now is the absolute time to do it. Babes of Apparel, Shoes and Apparels, she hosts many events there with women in her shop at 6 o'clock. She'll do a wine and cheese. She'll put it on Facebook Live.
Well, and Becky, I'm going to give a quick plug here. Cynthia put it into the chat, but it was funny. Last week, we had the unique opportunity to have a joint networking event with the Lake Wales Chamber of Commerce at one of our joint members who's actually in downtown Lake Wales. And Jonathan from Cabinet Country is the name of the business. And he just kind of stood back. We were talking in awe. He's like, this, of course he had catering and he had an open bar and kind of those things that draw people in, right? But he's like, I would have never gotten this many people in to actually see and touch and feel my product. So whether that networking event is through the chamber, which we do have some availability, or it is through just yourself, your marketing, come on in, we're having an open house, that sort of thing. It's a great thing. And Cynthia even mentioned, we just launched a new women's networking group. So apologies to Mike Podhast on the call today, our guy on the call with Mike, but it's every fourth or the last fourth Wednesday of the month. And that is from 8 to 9 on Wednesday, fourth Wednesday of the month. And we are purposely not over agendaing it. We want the primary focus of it to be meeting as many people as you can and build that network. But when we talk about being prepared with business cards, I had to chuckle because the millennial in me always forgets to grab the business cards, which is crazy because I'm the chamber president and I should have business cards everywhere I go. But what I find that I did is in my phone, I created a contact for myself in my phone. So if I don't have a business card, I say, oh, well, why don't you just let me share my contact directly with you?
Right.
And then that way I can share my contact with them. It's got my picture, my title, my email address, my cell phone number, all of that. And there are some great software, V card scanners and all that kind of stuff that you can do to add business cards to your phone. But I do admit that nothing is better than that hard business card that you can hand to people, and especially if you can get it with a really nice stock of the card itself. I'll mea culpa that for the people on the call. I even don't have business cards when I need to have business cards. So.
Well, thanks for that, Katie. But you know what you're talking about might be a wave of the future.
Mm-hmm.
I was checking out this past weekend, I guess, the grocery store, and this gentleman in front of me, where you stick your card in, he took his watch and he went like that. And I know it's prevalent, but I guess I don't shop a lot, millennial shop, because I haven't seen that much of it. And I said to him, wow, I'm impressed. He said, yeah, it's an Apple Watch, but you can pay with Visa, you can pay with anything. So, yeah. So anyway, that's cool. Thanks for
Hi,
that.
Becky.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Desiree. I am the Director of Sales here for the Courtyard by Marriott, right across from Legoland. And thank you for this presentation today. I wanted to talk about the networking, getting out and networking. With the pandemic, we had to get real creative, not being able to get face-to-face. So one thing I did find out was weddings are going to happen. Whether they're postponed for a moment, they're going to still happen. So that inspired me to get out and network with all the wedding venues here in Winter Haven. And we have some gorgeous wedding venues here. And so that just kind of escalated into everyone I asked, do you have a vendors list that I can get, so we can kind of keep that ball rolling? And our weddings have increased about 30% just in doing that, just in that one market. Wow. So that's huge. I want to piggyback on Katie. I had the honor to join the first WIN group, which Women in Networking, which was awesome. I think there was like 50 women there. I think, Katie, correct me if I'm wrong, 70 signed up. So people are hungry. They're ready to get back in the saddle and get out and start networking again. So this is perfect timing for this presentation. I really appreciate it. And Katie, that was an awesome idea about creating your own contact in your phone. I'm going to have to steal that from you. So yeah, thanks for sharing.
I use that a lot.
That's awesome.
I try to seem modern, like, oh, I don't have a business card. Let me just send you my contact. But it's really like, I just forgot business cards again.
I'll have to look into that software. That's a great idea. Yeah, because I go to Planet Fitness, and when we first went, my husband and I, we got these little cards, and so when mine fell apart, you can't. I don't know how people survive without a smartphone, but that's another whole story. Referrals. The other thing that I got from my training when I went to New York is the lady said to me, or to our class, she said, when you finish a job, you always ask, if you are satisfied, will you share my my contact information with your family and friends? It's just very important. Now, if you think that customer is not satisfied, you might want to rethink that. But you certainly hope that that's the case. And here's where the business card comes in. If you do have business cards, or it doesn't have to be a business card. See, at SCORE, we have several of these. And when I think because of my screen, it's just like a 7x3 front and back flyer, or you can even do a tri folder, that you can leave, that the tri-folder or the back and back gives you a lot more information to explain about your services and where to find you and all of your social media platforms and such. As important as I just said those three things were, I'm going to tell you, customer service can make or break you. It absolutely can. My husband and I have a place where he fishes, and I'm redoing the kitchen, and I called 3 people, and guess what? One of them called me back. So what do you think? Who's going to get the business? It just blows me away sometimes. But and then I can understand that, you know, small businesses, if you let's just say you're a single owner service company and it goes to voicemail. When we get to time management, we'll talk about that, because you just have to make time for your customers. And do your values and standards carry over to your employees? I can't tell you how many places I have been where someone behind the register just acted like that they could care less, you know, that I gave them a sale. And it's just such a turnoff. But according to some research I did, 90% of Americans use customer service as a factor in deciding to do business. So very, very important. And as well as important is time management. The picture to the right, is this you? Are you constantly putting out fires, working long hours, missing opportunities? I live and die by my to-do list. And we, as techie as all of us have become, even if you are not at a desk daily, you can use your notes on your cell phone and just change your daily to-do list daily, and categorize your priorities. I had a hard time this week myself, because we have been asked to put in an application for a sponsor for Central Florida SCORE, and it's kind of like a grant, and it's really rather extensive. So yesterday morning, I just said, okay, I just really put everything else aside, because I had already gotten this presentation done. And I said, I have to do this today. What is important? And one of the biggest suckers of time, and is the same with me personally, is the system of emails. I have a system that I can, when I get my first cup of coffee, I can go to my iPad and I can look at my emails. And if they're spam or I delete them, when I come to my desktop, they're not there. So that has been a huge benefit to me, so that when I do sit down, I can concentrate on the ones that need answers and go from there. The main thing is to work smart. I mean, don't work hard, work smart. Now, you might find this interesting as something to help you build and grow your business. But if you are the business person that I want to be, and that you want your business to become, is you want to immerse yourself in your community. Now, you are already doing that, and kudos to you for belonging to the chamber and for giving your time there to meet other people. And so in a way, you are giving back to your community. Not that, you know, the chamber is a charitable organization, it's not, but it is a place that you can give your knowledge as you meet and greet people. And people like to do business with people that they know and like, and that goes back to the networking part of it. And not to use this charitable thing as a networking. Don't go, I would never recommend somebody go to church to network. I would never recommend that, you join United Way of Central Florida to network, but it is a place that you can give back. And when you do that, and you get involved and get on committees, you're making a close friend relationship. I have a story to tell you about create long friends and business relationships. When I moved back to Lakeland in 1980, I'm telling you my age, I joined the SPCA, which is, an animal organization. They did not have their shelter. One of the few shelters was the ones over near Winter Haven, the county shelter. They do have a beautiful facility now, but they were adopting dogs at what was, you're all too young. It was Food World, which is now Publix, and on Saturday mornings. And so I went up and just started volunteering. And to this day, there are 4 of us girls who have lunch every single week whenever possible. And that's been 40 years. So it's just a great opportunity. I would like for you to look at this page for a moment. Somebody's blowing up my phone and my husband's not home. He went for a medical test. Look at that. I'm going to be right back.
So a lot of what Becky is talking about today, from the perspective of the people on the call in terms of the small business and growing your small business. But one of the questions we get a lot here at the chamber are from individuals that are looking for help starting a business. And so even from the perspective, a lot of you on the call are very well connected in the community and seen as mentors in the community. So a lot of what Becky is talking about today from the perspective of the people on the call in terms of the small business and growing your small business. But one of the questions we get a lot here at the chamber are from individuals that are looking for help starting a business. And so even from the perspective, a lot of you on the call are very well connected in the community and seen as mentors in the community for your small businesses or the businesses that you're a part of. So I hope you, from listening to Becky talk today and learning about all the services that SCORE provides, look to them as a resource for you as well as you run into people in the community that are looking to start a business or going from a one-person shop to adding employees. Becky, I was filling time for you while you stepped away.
I am so glad. So glad. I know that's something I never do, but I was kind of concerned. Okay, so everything's fine. SCORE has this book, and it's called Simple Steps for Growing Your Business. We also, it's a digital book. We also have a digital book for simple steps for starting your business. And I would like to share this with Katie. And if any of you would like to have it, she will have it in her documents and is more than happy to share it with you. I am more than happy to share it with you if you would like to share your email with me, but that might be, the easiest thing, Katie, if that's all right.
Yes, I can send that out to everybody that registered for today's.
Okay.
And I'll add it to our small business. We have a small business resource page on our website that we're constantly adding to, so I can add it to that as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. And the things that are in this book, these are the chapters, and I won't go through them right now because you will be getting the book and you will be able to go through them at your leisure. Over the years, I can tell you we have had many, many success stories. This is just one that I would like to share with you. It goes back a few years, but it was one that was got a little more national press. Adriana Mellis began working on her dream passion of owning a mobile truck van boutique coffee shop. She came to one of our mentors and she brought her business plan, and he sat down with her and he took his pencil And he just crossed off a few things here and there and told her what to do. She went home, she came back. And from there, she worked with a mentor on her marketing. She worked with one of our mentors on her financial plans. And she applied for the Sam's Club SCORE Small Business Championship Award, and she was one in one in each 50 states. She won for Florida. She went to a business symposium in Washington, DC, and she also earned a $5,000 gift card from Sam's. So if you do sign up for our newsletter, there are opportunities out there like that. I think FedEx has had a grant that small businesses could apply for. And so these are some of the things that you learn. And also on our newsletters that we do at SCORE, I'll explain that more later. There is a score.org newsletter, and then there's a Central Florida score.org newsletter. But we have had many success stories. If you know of anyone who would be willing to give back to their community by volunteering for SCORE, there is a process. You have to go to our website and click on volunteer. It goes to national, and national, once they have cleared it, it comes to our level, and then we do interviews to see if you're right for us and we're right for you. And so it's been extremely rewarding experience for me. I love my clients. I have some I still keep in contact with today. These are our sponsors here. When anybody asks me about an SBA loan, whoops, I goofed up. I need to change the Center State logo. They are now South State and Wells Fargo. Both of them are extremely active in SBA. Broadway Real Estate Services is our landlord. We are located in downtown Lakeland at the corner of Maine and Kentucky. Mosier Data helps us tremendously, not only financially, but with a lot of our endeavors in getting the word out about SCORE. I cannot leave without sharing this with you. This is our 4th annual Empower Women in Business. And our tagline this year is the making of an entrepreneur. It is going to be on Friday, September 17, from 8:30 to noon at Catapult in downtown Lakeland. If you have not seen that facility, even though, you probably don't have a need or want for a co-working space, it is beautiful just to look at. It's very, very high tech. Emily Rogers, if you've never heard of her, she is the owner and founder of Emily Rogers Coaching and Consulting, and she works nationwide. And Kate Lake is an amazing entrepreneur. She bought a building in downtown Lakeland probably about 6 or 7 years ago because she just did an anniversary, her 5-year anniversary in that building. She renovated it, and it is a co-working place. And she went to SBDC. She came to SCORE. She came to all of our workshops. She was an absolute sponge, and she traveled the country and went to other co-working spots to get her ideas. So these women have an incredible, incredible story, as does our panel. These are 2 speakers, and then we will have a panel, and we will end with networking from 11:30 to noon. And you can find that link to register on our website. Okay, on our website, is where you can request a meeting that goes directly into our SCORE office, and our emails are monitored. And then it's very short, and there's a dialogue box that you would put in there what you need mentoring for. As I mentioned, I only do marketing, but then you are paired up with whoever might best suit your needs. When you go to centralflorida.score.org or score.org, you can go to either. That is where you will see the library that I've mentioned. But on centralflorida.score and score.org also, sorry, forgive me, you will see sign up for our newsletter, because there is a national newsletter and there is a Central Florida newsletter. In ours, we promote our upcoming workshops. We share with you any SBA news that is coming out, and there was one recently on very, very important on restaurants having extra funding. And then just other tips that that you might find helpful. Katie, I will turn it back over to you.
Yes, thank you, Becky. And one thing that I wanted to mention, since we have a mighty crew of people involved in small business on the call today, is this morning I sat in on a phone call. You all know that I am a government affairs junkie in terms of trying to advocate on behalf of small business. This morning I sat in on a phone call with the director of the I'm saying director of finance for the state. That is not his title, but he's basically the CFO for the state, newly appointed. And he is working on some legislation that would make Florida a friendlier state for small business financing. One of the problems we see in the state of Florida, and I'm sure Becky runs into this as a mentor at SCORE, is quite another number of businesses come in and say, okay, now I'm seeking financing. How do I get investors in my business? And if you're not lucky enough to have that rich uncle that a lot of us joke about having to help you start your small business, it is a bootstraps kind of world in terms of getting that financing to start your own business. If you don't have a previous established banking relationship, if you don't have a home you can leverage, that sort of thing, it's just a different world. But one thing that we find is a lot of innovation starts in Florida. I think we're number 3 in terms of business startups. And then when it comes to financing businesses, we're like 10th from the bottom in terms of the United States. So creating a better ecosystem for financing small businesses and small business startups. And this gentleman who's newly appointed to this role is looking at changing some legislation to create a better system for that, whether it be crowdfunding or securities funding and investment groups and capital venturists. I'm not saying that right, but you know what I mean. So I will definitely be learning more about that. Today was a preview call. I have a more in-depth call about it on Monday, but it sounds like something we're going to want to have a voice in. And I'll be looking to our small businesses to help me communicate to him what we would like to see in that arena as we move towards legislative session, which is basically you'll blink and it'll be January of next year. But any ways we can create better access to capital, as Becky mentioned, you know, grants are great, and every small business that walks into the door or aspiring entrepreneur comes in and I ask them, well, how are you going to start your business? And they're like, well, I thought I'd get some grants. Well, that's a heavily competitive world. And even if you fall into female, veteran, minority-owned businesses, it's a highly competitive world. So creating a better ecosystem for access to capital for entrepreneurs of any age, race, anything like that is something that we want to do in Florida. So more to come on that. I was kind of excited that we've got someone at the state level that's very interested in doing that and changing the way Florida helps small businesses. So more to come, but hopefully we'll be looking to you all and all of our small businesses for help formulating that. Yes, Miss Becky.
Katie, can I say one more thing? It's been quite a while, but on the note that you're talking about, we had a gentleman from the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity visit us at one of our SCORE monthly meetings. and he was talking about the microfinance guarantee program, and also there was the microfinance loan program. There were two. So is the person you were speaking with, the meeting, was it the DEO?
It was not the DEO. It's actually a division. It's the CFO. Let me pull up his name, but very similar. Microfinancing was a discussion, and even the regulatory environment in the state of Florida around microfinancing. And that was actually a question that came up on the call. For example, in India, there's a very interesting microfinancing model. And actually, in several countries in Africa, there's a very interesting model for that as well. So basically looking at how our regulatory structure is around securities and CVs and things of that nature. So, but this is a group that would be working very closely with the DEO. And then it was, I'll pull up the information, Becky, and I can send it to you in terms of who spoke today. And I'll send you a link to the call on Monday as well. So, well, good deal. Well,
And
Becky, did you go ahead?
Great. And I was just asked about another organization that might like to hear a little bit more about SCORE. If you are involved in any other women's organizations that would like to have me speak, I would be more than happy to. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for this small but very mighty crew that was on the call today. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned because we do try to partner with SCORE, especially now that we're coming out of the pandemic and can do more in-person events. And so we look forward to that. So Becky, thank you so much for taking the time today and for everybody on the call. We appreciate it.
Thank you everyone for showing. Bye.
Bye.